What's up, Salim?
Good, thank you.
Good. Right over here, my friend. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Welcome to Bellator 300 Fight Week. How are you enjoying this place, and how's San Diego treating you?
Yeah, it's perfect here. Thanks for you and for Bellator for this opportunity. I like it here in San Diego. Good weather, good atmosphere, and I enjoy it.
Well, that's great to hear, man. Obviously, this is your first Bellator Fight Week, first time fighting under the Bellator banner. How does this one add up to the rest of the ones that you've been a part of?
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Bellator is one of the best organizations in the world, and I hope my first fight it will be my best performance.
A lot of people say that if Tunisia is going to have an MMA champion, it's going to be you. How does that sit with you? How does that make you feel? And does it add any motivation to you?
Yes, it gives me big motivation to be first Tunisian in Bellator organization, and I hope to be the first champion Tunisian, and not just Tunisian but Arabic fighter, and I'm ready for this.
Awesome. And what do you know about your opponent, Davion Franklin? Obviously, he's been fighting in Bellator since the beginning of his career. What do you know about him, and how excited are you to fight him on Saturday night?
Yes, I watch his fights, and I know that he make many fights in Bellator, and I know he's tough opponent. He's explosive, strong punches. And I prepare good and I train so much, and I am ready for this fight.
Last one from me. How do you believe that your previous experiences, all of the things that you've been a part of over the years, has helped you prepare for this moment, your Bellator debut?
Yes, my previous experience, I was before start MMA, I was Olympic wrestler, and I was qualified Olympic Games 2016. And later I moved to Europe. I left my country from 2016, and there in Europe I start to make MMA, and I make with training with tough fighters, and I make already now in my background 5 fights with tough opponents. And I was champion in French, and I have enough experience to make my debut in Bellator. I feel this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We just had another fighter in here, Sarah McMahon. She was speaking about how, over here, right up here.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah McMahon was just in here talking about how she's never felt the pressure, just like the pressure in the Olympics. It was the most pressure she's ever felt in her life. I was wondering if you feel the same way. Did you feel more pressure during those Olympic times than you do in your mixed martial arts career?
No, I think it's different. Olympic sport is another pressure. To make minimal 4 or 5 fights in same day is different than you make just one fight. And it's different that you have just one opponent. You know what, who is your opponent, what's quality he have, what's good things in his style, bad things. You prepare good for one opponent, so I think it's less stress, than wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel like this.
And you are undefeated. You've had all of your fights. Every fight is important, but do you feel like this one, there's a little sense, we're on Bellator 300. It's a historic card. It's your debut in one of the biggest promotions, like you said. Do you feel like this fight might be the most important one of your career so far?
Yes. It's the most important fight because it's in big organization like Bellator with a good name, opponent, and many important people in the world who will watch this fight. So I think it will give big promotion to me and to my name.
You've traveled all around the world. I'm wondering, what's your favorite place that you've fought in so far? Or wrestled?
Favorite place? This is for me no important. I fight anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime? Yeah. I was wondering, is there any fighter that you've looked up to in your career, anybody that's influenced you that you look to emulate in your own game? a fighter that he looks up to or looks to emulate in his own game? Any fighters that have influenced him?
You know, there is many fighters in the world of MMA which motivate me, you know, and I watch them and I like their style, you know, especially the guys who use so much like wrestling and ground game, you know, like Khabib or George St. Pierre and many big legends in this sport. I don't have just specific fan, but many guys I watch them and I appreciate how they fight, you know, and I learn from watching them.
Thank you.
Just a quick one for me. It's kind of everywhere. You've had kind of a frustrating road to get here to this point. You know, outside forces kind of trying to stop you from coming here. You know, are you able to keep that out of your head as you're trying to get ready for a fight this Saturday?
Yes, this is hard to manipulate this, you know. But in the fight week, it's different. I must not focus in these things, you know. These things, you know, I make a long way to come until here. When I remember what happened in my life, you know, I feel a rage inside me. And yeah, last hard times it was very bad, you know, because like last 1 year I didn't fight. I was broke, and before this I was fighting in hard condition, you know, and I was living illegal in Europe for many years. I don't have the right to travel. I was traveling by train or car. I was crossing the borders under pressure from control papers. I have no money, no sponsor, no papers, and you know, people who promote me in this time, they don't stop to block me, you know. And I stay going, you know. I didn't stop. When I remember the people who support me, like my friend, my cousin Omar, my family, you know, for me this emotion, just he gave me his support. We talking, we was together, you know, in like under zero, you know, in Europe. But this is now, I must forget it before the fight, you know. After the fight, I will remember this. But now I must focus in my opponent.
Gotcha. Right. Best of luck.
Thank you.
There's one more, yeah.
Sorry about that. Hi, Slim.
Hi.
So you have experience wrestling in the Olympics, but how do you feel like your striking and stand-up game has been able to transition into mixed martial arts?
Okay, my striking, I work in my striking from I start MMA. And every fight, I feel like my striking improve day by day. And in this fight, I will prove my striking again. And we will see.
Okay. So you've been through a lot to get where you are today, like you just talked about. How relieving is it to finally be here at Fight Week for Bellator and one of their biggest promotional events in history?
It's the best. It's the best, you know, for me. You know, to be here, my debut fight in Bellator 300, this is what I was waiting for this all my life, you know.